Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This is a little bit of a different one today. We haven't done an update video in a while. I actually used to do these a little bit more frequently, but I haven't felt the need to recently because I feel like I've been pumping out content and doing different things and you guys have kind of seen it as it's been going. But I want to discuss with you guys a little bit about how the channel is going to change in 2026. So one of those things, or really the main thing, the focus of this video, is that I am going to be changing how we deal with my edited content and Pride of Game Pass and Late to the Party. It all kind of comes together. So it's actually sort of three things, but like it kind of comes together. So what I want to do, first off, let's start right at the top, is that I want to change how I number and also display my Late to the Party and Pride of Game Pass series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have those become umbrella terms. And what I mean by that is right now I have them as series and like every game I play is part of that same series, if that makes sense. So you have, I play all of Halo and I play all of Halo 2, but they're all under the Pride of Game Pass banner. So they become episodes, I forget what they were, but like let's say 60 through to 67, right? And that's the two games. So like, and then if I play something after that, it's on Game Pass as well, like Gears of War, that becomes 68 through to 74. But that becomes confusing because people are like, how are you on episode 74 and playing Gears of War, for example? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it so that Pride of Game Pass and Late to the Party are still staples of the channel, but it's going to be Pride of Game Pass, for example here, Halo, episode 1. And then when I start Gears of War, it will be Pride of Game Pass, Gears of War, episode 1. So it's going to be more like, it almost becomes anthology-like in a way, rather than a continuing series. It's not going to be sort of almost podcast-like anymore. That's the wrong term, but it's not going to be run on. It's now going to be like almost like limited runs. It's going to be like a limited series each time. It's more how I do, or I have been doing the mission log and quest log series. You know, having those be like an umbrella term and then kind of doing different stuff in there. I haven't done much of that at the moment, but that's the like sort of plan with those. So it was actually also kind of how I did before I changed kind of how I did it and just kind of put them out anyway, was with how I kind of had for a while the playing the long game as the title for streams, where it was just like a longer stream that would be like playing the long game, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, for example. So I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to have it be Let's the Party, Pride of Game Pass, and then like any other streams that don't really fall in either of those will just be as they have been so far. Now, with that, I'm debating, and it might go back and forth, but I don't think I'll be doing as many edited videos for those series, because it means that I'll be kind of holding myself up on those games a little bit more. I think what I might try and do going forward is try and add a little bit of a different varied kind of content that's edited. So like having my opinion on a game be the edited video, or having a discussion around AI in gaming be the edited video, or even PERALTA'S played becoming edited instead in some way, and kind of cutting that down, or maybe even making that a longer piece and then kind of cutting it down. Whatever, I don't know yet. I don't know how that's going to formulate, but I think what my main goal is to try and make it so that I'm bringing in as many new people every time I start a game. Because when you see on a thumbnail, and I think I've always kind of known this in my head, when you see, if you know the channel, you know that E74R means actually it's his second episode of doing Halo 2. It's fine, you know, or whatever it was. But if you're like a new person who's never been to the channel before, you're like episode 74 of Halo, and what does the R even mean? Because R has always been reboot to me, but like some people don't get that, some people don't know that, and that's fine because it's not a standardized thing, right? It doesn't make sense. So that's what I'm wanting to change. That's the main crux of what I want to change. But I do want to have, and I've always wanted to have, this channel not just be VODs. I want this channel to also be about reviewing games, discussing trailers, kind of having more updates for games. I'm thinking that's where I kind of want to go a little bit more in 2026 as well. I want to have me kind of become someone who is not just, I'm streaming, I'm playing these games, but I want to discuss games. I want to have conversations about games. I want to do fun videos. You know, a lot of people say that I'm sort of like a little bit too genuine to go down the kind of, and not in a negative way, anyone does this, but like the kind of, I don't want stunted content. I can't do that. So that's not what my plan is. And also people have kind of suggested that I don't think they don't think I could do videos like, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Any Austin before, but Any Austin does kind of videos like, where do the pole towers lead in Fallout, for example, or that's an example, but like, where do the rivers run in Witcher 3? Those types of things. And like, because it's like almost like talking about how the game tries to emulate reality, but isn't quite specific enough or right enough. And like, even like stuff like how the power generators in GTA, do they actually connect properly and all that type of stuff, which is cool. Very fun videos. If you ever haven't watched one of those, have a try of one, because they're actually really hilarious. And just the way Austin kind of in those videos presents it is really, really cool. But I think for me, I want to move to just being a little bit more like, I try and vary my content, and I want to have like, maybe take a stream and have my editor just condense it down into like 15, 16 shorts or whatever. Do something like that. Vary things up. Try something new. I think I've loved our time with both those series, and I still want to be part of the channel. I've had a lot of discussion about this all the time with friends and fans, let's say. And I feel like they've said that they really enjoy those, and they like enjoy the ability to kind of redeem on Twitch, the ability to pick what I play next or pick an episode for that. So that's not going. It's just going to be, I think I want to try and be a little bit more experimental with my edited videos and be a little bit more thoughtful about the things I'm creating as well. And also, I think I don't really want to double up on what I'm putting out anymore, because I feel like I didn't mind putting out extended cuts of like the streams and then an edited version. That was fine. I didn't mind it. I think I made it quite clear what it was. But at the same time, I think that it looks a bit confusing. I've had a number of people say, "Oh, you put the same video out twice." I'm like, "No, I didn't. Yes, it's the same raw footage, but it's not. It's a different product. It's meant to be like, it's almost like how Critical Role, which is obviously a very different thing in general, but has their campaign, and then they're doing an abridged version of the campaign now. So that's kind of my thought process, is that like, maybe I cut that out because it's not really. I always felt like it was different enough, and it was for like two different types of people. But like, I need to change how I do the thumbnails for those, and that's something I've thought about as well. Or I need to change doing that. But one thing I do not want to do is I don't want. Well, I don't want the channel to become a stream archive channel, essentially, but I don't want to not catalog my games, because what I always want with my channel is, regardless of how big it gets or small it is or whatever, I want to be able to look back in years to come and say, "Oh, I remember when I played that game on stream," and I have it all there to be able to not watch myself, not indulge in that weird way, but like to know that it's there, to know that it always existed. Because for me, why I make content is to know that I was here. I know that sounds really weird, but it's like and very highly philosophical. But for me, it's like, I was here, I played these games, I did this thing, I enjoyed it, I did this with my friends were involved with this. And especially because I've been doing a lot more collabs, that's potentially something that could be the edited video as well, doing a collab game off stream, and just kind of chilling and kind of shooting the shit. I don't usually use that phrase, but shooting the shit with someone, and then that kind of becoming videos, or like, and then you guys get to experience that outside of the streams. But I still want the streams to be that. I still want that to be like kind of the core of what I do on the day-to-day, but I want maybe a little bit a higher production on those other videos and stuff like that. That's my thought, at least. So I think that's my plan. I think that's the vibe I'm going for. I think changing how we do those things will make the channel better. I want to do more shorts. I want to do the content that I've been doing in a refined format. I want to do better content, regards reviews, updates on games, that sort of stuff. I think it'll help as well when I get some more up to date on some of the MMOs, because then we can do like patch release days and stuff like that. So even stuff like that will be really cool. So yeah, that's all in the pipeline. That's all the plan. That's my vibe. That's my idea. That's my thoughts. If you guys have any ideas on what you'd like to see on the channel, do you want to see maybe some challenges? Like, I know I've said that's not really me, but if you have some ideas that maybe I would like, or maybe would fit with how I do things, that's fine. If you guys have ideas for what like kind of content you'd like to see, do you want a new theme for these offline videos? Do you have a theme of like, okay, Peralta, go through that MMO on your own off stream, for example, or Peralta, go through this game alone, or Peralta, we'd like to see you talk about this at some point, or anything like that. Let me know, because I always like to know what you guys think. Don't get me wrong, I don't take every piece of feedback I get, because there's some things that I feel are integral to my brand, or oppositely, things that I feel I care about and don't care about as well. So the things I'm like, some people have said like, oh, well, I don't think people really would watch your streams after they've watched them on Twitch, and that's totally fine. That's okay. But there will be a number of people out there that maybe do. And maybe I haven't found them yet, but you know, my experience with YouTube has changed and varied so much year to year so far. I'm not going to give up on something that I feel is fundamental to how I want to experience my YouTube content, Twitch content experience, because of people that I've maybe met for a small period of time within that 5 years, and that's not me saying I'm unwilling to change. I definitely am, but I want to change on my own terms. You know, the content is important. The revenue and the potential to go higher obviously is interesting to me. I've always said that. I've always been honest about that, but I don't want to just lose myself to get that. That's never been the goal. I always want to be me. I don't think I could be anyone else. I genuinely don't. I don't think, like, you know how people say that like they try and be mysterious and like in new settings and stuff like that. I can't. I'm a hopeless, awkward, socially inept at times guy, and that's always how I'm going to be. So I'd like to think so, at least. Well, not purposely, but I don't want to change. I don't want to be dishonest and disingenuous. So that's all my thoughts. That's sort of my ideas. I hope you guys sort of agree. I hope you guys sort of feel that we're on the same path with this. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon for more videos. In the meantime, if you want to watch some of that stream content, it is there. And we're back soon to continue on some of the others. Oh, what I should say before we end, these changes will come into effect very soon, regards lit to the party and Pride of Game Pass. But I do need to kind of finish out some parts with some series first. Pride of Game Pass, you'll see one more episode of Gears of War under the current format, and then Pride of Game Pass will be switching over, and then late to the party, you'll be seeing that kind of come after we finish Mordor. There is also the point, and these were things I thought of as I started the video, and I've only just remembered now. There is also the point there are some games that I started under the old numbering system that I'm going to have to kind of deal with as we get to it. So you might have this weird thing where like episode 1 of the old one is like episode 75 of the old series or something like that, or I might even just start them fresh potentially, just to kind of save ourselves the struggle. Probably not in some instances, but in some others definitely. So yeah, that's the end of this video. That's my thoughts. That's my process. That's my ideas going into 2026. I'm hoping this is going to be another big year, another fun year. I hope you guys are going to come along with me for it. And yeah, thanks guys as always. I'll see you later. I'm doing that head thing again. I'm doing that head like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Anyway, bye guys.